Right, well, thank you everyone for coming to the Content Creators panel. You probably know everybody who's here, but from my side going up, we'll get everyone to introduce themselves as they feel a weird touch on their shoulder or something.
All right, Brother Sabathius. I stream on Twitch, which is twitch.tv, brother_Sabathius. So I stream primarily Elite Dangerous, do a lot of Thargoid combat, but I try and do a bit of everything in the game. Been getting into a lot of the Thargoid War lately, and particularly Operation Witch Hunt. So.
About that.
Oh, that's interesting. I'd love to hear more about that. I'm sure that won't be divisive in the slightest. Hi everybody, I'm Psychic. I do some of the streaming. I do a couple of podcasts as well that you might be aware of. Lave Radio. and Flight Assist. Woo! Oh yeah, that's me. Hi.
Oh, that's weird. There's like a delay on, so we can see ourselves.
It's your turn. You need to take
I'm Commander Burr. Calm yourselves. I'm 1/3 of the Burr Pit. You didn't see that coming, did you? No. Education, yeah? And we mostly do curated videos, a little bit of streaming, so I feel like kind of an imposter here. And weekly news, which you may have seen on Fridays, which is our Friday, mostly, and then a midweek. We'll probably get onto that. Is that everything?
I'm the second, third. How does this work?
I'm
the two-third.
You're the other third.
I'm the other third. We do have a silent son who is the third member of the Burr Pit, but you don't see. He doesn't really come out.
He's technical backup.
Technical backup.
I was worried you didn't know how numbers work.
Once again with the who react.
And so mostly you'll see my footage. My whole gameplay is exploration and the camera suite. And that's me. So I do the videography for the Burr Pit. That's me.
Thank God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I am Commander Tokosa. I can't even say it. Tom. I write music for Elite Streamers. And I write a few albums. There's the Galactic Radio 7 album a bit ago, which raised £11,000.
Yes.
Very amazing. And and I also stream on Saturday nights with Spatula 007. So I don't know if I get on tonight, but yeah, I do a bit of streaming. And I muck about in the game a lot. Your turn.
I'm
Who let him here?
Who let what? Hey?
The dog's out.
I'm Commander Scorpius. I do streams on Sunday nights. Mostly that's what I do these days. Apparently I used to do videos with lots of animation and stuff. And with the help of this great gentleman here, put out a couple of music videos.
Some good lyrics as well, yeah.
With some great music. Yes.
Done some pretty pictures too, I think.
I do pictures as well.
Yeah, so basically...
Yeah, everyone remember to talk into your microphones.
It says here don't talk into the microphone.
Don't.
Talk to the audience.
Oh, I can't even see that.
Right. Talk to the audience, right. Project. So
We've just had people saying they can't hear you.
Oh. Shh. What about now? Can you hear me now?
It should be a proper view.
Yeah, so I just try and make people laugh. And if people laugh, then I've done my job. There you go.
I'm laughing. It's good.
Right. This is going to be a least part audience participation, so anyone who wants to ask these lot a question, raise your hand or something like that and I'll come and find you. Oh, Dylan's coming to give me technical things, isn't he? No?
Together.
We broke a bone.
Are you two alright? We've broken you.
Sorry. I may have broken Psychic. I'm very sorry.
It was a good idea to sit Burr next to me.
So sorry.
What's that hole?
Sorry, Ben.
Oh my gosh.
Right, in that case, I'm going to get Burr to start this off deliberately.
In your face.
Burr, how have you managed to grow your audience or expand your audience? Are you actively trying to do that, or is it just a happy accident?
Well, I guess one of the we are actively trying to grow our audience. Yes, but one of the things we we really, really want to do, other than kind of entertain with the beautiful visuals, and thank goodness you're there for that, because I'm hopeless at that, we really want to try and keep people informed and keep people in the loop with whatever's going on. There's no point doing that if no one's watching. So, we try and entertain and excite with the visuals, but also try and subtly inform at the same time. And hopefully that turns out being useful to people. And then I'm acutely aware of being videoed, that's weird. And then that becomes something that people value. And we try and do that on a regular basis, which is why you always see Witch-based news on Friday, because then you know that on Friday you will get Witch-based news, and you'll hopefully be better informed about what's happening in the game that you hopefully love. So yes, we are actively trying to grow our audience. It's very difficult, however, which is why I say please like and subscribe, because that really helps.
We came to the jumping in, but we come as
everyone jump in.
We come as the pair.
What?
Just
learning
we were kind of behind the curve. We thought about starting up a Witch-based news show many years before.
Yeah, I've been in Elite since the Kickstarter, haven't I?
But we were kind of late to the curve, so we were trying to break into a market that already has a lot of big content creators in. And so we've been sort of running to catch up, and we're very, very sort of slowly, just steadily building, rather than a big impact. Maybe if we'd been on board at the start, we would have, got bigger quicker. But we had just decided that we have a passion for Elite that is unbridled. We will be there through thick and thin, good or bad. Odyssey was obviously challenging, but at the end of the day, we love the game, and we're just sticking with it, and we will be there week in, week out, regardless, reporting on what's going on in the galaxy. And it's a good galaxy, so yeah.
So yes, in answer to your question.
Yes, yes, we are.
Everyone else as well. I mean, what are you guys doing to try and expand things, grow your audience, grow Elite's audience?
I think for the Twitch, the people who are on Twitch and the people who stream really regularly, I think we have this, not necessarily an obligation, but it kind of feels a little bit like that it's kind of this thing where we get a fair amount of people coming into streams going, how do you get started? Because let's face it, Elite doesn't exactly hold your hand. It's a lot better than it used to be.
I've not noticed that.
No, it's funny. You'd think you'd be able to fly better.
I know.
But it's one of those things where I feel like we can represent Elite and the community really, really well as live streamers, and as and including not just the live streamers themselves, but the people in chat as well are so helpful all the time. If somebody asks a question, you get like 7 people answer straight away, I find. And that's just such of a testament to just the Elite Dangerous community, more so than it is our ugly mugs just up on the front of it. Just people being in chat are just as helpful as we are, but we have like that. I feel like we have an obligation to like represent the community to some extent, and just
obligation's a good word.
Yeah, thanks. I'm glad, because I've said it like 8 times.
Do you have an obligation?
I feel like I do. What do you guys think?
I mean, like you said, being as helpful as possible to new people coming in. So I still get loads of people basically every week coming and saying, "Hey, I've just got this game. Is it worth it?" To which the usual reply is, "Well, watch along and see how it plays. See how you see me playing it. Bear in mind I've been playing it since it launched." So I've got a lot of experience. So, but if you've got any questions, just ask. And because if I don't know the answer, someone in chat's going to know the answer. and that way we get we hopefully get a new member of the community in, because the other thing that's often said about Elite is that there isn't so much a learning curve as a cliff, and I feel that people get halfway up this cliff, think, well, this is too hard, and they drop the game. But if we can get them to the top of the cliff, then it's plain sailing down either side. And if we can get them to the top of the cliff, we've got a new community member. However they want to play the game. So I try to show off basically as much as I can. I know I've got my specialties, but I'll try and do all of the gameplay at some point that Elite offers. But that amount of help, particularly if you're getting known for it, people do start recommending to go and see you.
Yeah.
I mean, when I got into Thargoid combat, for instance, I did all my learning on stream. I didn't learn off stream. So the first time I was trying to kill an interceptor solo, I was doing it on stream, deaths and all. So everyone's seen the pain, going through, and now I get people come in saying, "Hey, you make this look so easy." It's like, well, I've had 2 years of practice at it, so that's why it might look easy, but I don't feel I'm anything particularly special. So, like, if I can learn to do it, so can you. And these guys can teach you. I can explain. I can explain how I do it. So, but that drives a lot of viewership and chat interaction, and the more that happens, the more alive the stream is, and then it kind of snowballs on from there.
Tom, obviously your stuff's a lot different from everyone else's, but yeah,
It's better.
Amazing.
Someone had to say it.
So, yeah, I do a lot of pictures on Twitter. Elite Twitter, I find a really vibrant community sort of thing. I think, again, Elite is a community. There's not billions of people suddenly logging in to Twitch to play something like, CSGO style. There's a community there, and if you can get yourself into it, then you can become part of that community. And if you're regular and do good content, then you can get up there, sort of thing. So it's in a weird way, it's hard to get in one way, but once you get in, then you start networking out into more people, sort of thing. And I think, again, Elite does have a lot of new players all the time. I've got people who've followed me for ages, but also there's always new players coming through. So
I'll freely admit I didn't realise that you also streamed on a regular night, because I know you just from your music and things like that.
I've only done it a few months, you see.
Yeah.
But
everyone's like, it's like there's a reason why pretty much everybody's like, and our music is supplied by Tokoso.
But again, I've got my little corner, haven't I? Sort of
Yeah.
thing, in a community, sort of thing. And I think there is space for people, even people like you.
Even
No, I mean, because again, you've found lots of different ways to be in the community, sort of thing, haven't you?
That's true.
And a stalwart, sort of thing.
A what?
So, yes.
Well,
It's a cream for that.
I mean, obviously you do your own thing as well, Scope. But
My stuff is like totally different to like I'm listening to all these other things. Like they sound so professional and they know what they're doing.
Oh no!
Oh, they're growing their channels. I'm like, I'm doing it all wrong. But that's kind of on brand for me. Like, so I often do things wrong and die a lot, explode a lot, for science mostly. But yeah, for like growing the channel and the community things, I'm not very active. I don't do very much. I talk about it on Twitter and things like that. And I show up on Sundays mostly now. And because I show up, people show up. They turn up for the show and to be part of it, and they really enjoy it. And we've had new commanders, like they're saying, they come in and they always ask, "Is this game worth playing? Is it fun? I heard there's lots of grind." I'm like you bring your own grind. It's like you do it or you don't. Have fun, whatever you do. And we've had new players who've joined us on stream in the starter areas, and we've welcomed them into, they get through the starter zone and they get to a point, and they've actually got more money than I have now. And they haven't been grinding, they've just been playing the game and having fun, and they join us when we do silly things, and they have fun with that. And also, we get quite a few people who would normally be classed as gankers come and join us as well. And they don't gank anybody, they have fun, they join us, and we run a private group, and I say to everyone, you're all free to come in until you're not. So don't muck about, and no one. And this is not a challenge, by the way. We haven't had to kick anyone yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sunday night.
No, but it's because everybody just has fun. They all turn up, and we all do stupid things. And I think Brother Sabathius plays and shows people how to do things. I think if people watch me to see how not to do it, and then probably learn more. Then they go to Brother Sabathius. So right, we've seen how not to do it now. How do you do it for real?
The Spatula, we play an open every week, sort of thing. And I got ganked by Tony Curtis last week, but it was actually quite exciting, sort of thing. And then we were doing one of the CGs, and we got killed by this guy who was then watching us, and we couldn't figure out how we did it. And so once you start talking to them, then suddenly they go, oh, we're all in the same community again. So if you would push them away, they go, how did you actually kill me in 9 seconds?
Do you mean, Tony, what mode are you playing
in?
Tony, are you in open? Yeah, that Tony.
I mean, how do you deal with things like stream sniping, or or general more toxic members of the Twitch or other live streaming communities?
I mean, we in our one we deal with humour quite a lot. We just try and enjoy it, and like Spatula really loves the open excitement sort of thing. He's got about 9 credits, I think, in his pocket. But he kind of likes the whole feel of it because it makes the CG really exciting.
Because he's crazy.
Really crazy. But we haven't had that much. We've been very lucky, I think. Again, I think because he's very jovial and fun about it. And we just seem to have a bit of fun. Probably next week it'll be terrible.
Professional as ever.
Sorry.
But again, I think I didn't play an open for the first 4 years, but I think I did a bit. And I played in Mobius for ages because then Itchy Nipples was around and you couldn't get out, and then they put the toast rack, and that really helped. But then, I just started playing open, and I had no problem apart from say Deciact and that sort of thing. And if I went there and asked, I'd be like, well, I'm going to be dead, sort of thing. But you kind of know where it's going to be. And again, I find if you start talking to some of these people, it's easier. Some of them don't like to talk, some just want to kill you because it's really good fun and it makes you angry, and that's what they want, I think. But again, some people just want a community. So if you actually engage with them, they'll tell you their tricks.
Gankers need love too.
That's what it is. I need start knitting a big jumper for gankers need cuddles. Yeah,
we play in a PG, and like the same with Scorbus, we've not really had any problems. I think there was, my personal experience was anyway, in the early days, there was quite a lot of private group infiltration went on by specific individuals, and I think it may have got the ganker community to a degree quite a bad reputation. Ree might be painfully uncomfortable with what I'm about to say, but our son plays in open almost exclusively and adores PvP, adores it. He's very good at it as well, so if you've been out there and got killed by a random 19-year-old, it might have been ours. Sorry about that.
But it does back up your conversation in that it opens, it's a thing to talk about, and can you do better builds, and how do we all kind of play alongside each other? If somebody's just out to troll you, you're not going to stop them, but the genuine gankers, it's a valid, in some ways it's as valid as any other gameplay.
It's kind of what Open's for, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things as well, like Rinsler, remember Rinsler? He used to put out videos like how to escape, how to trade an open,
Type 7.
how to build a Type 7 to escape gankers. So it's like well, bravo, well done. No, it's a good video.
But again, having a big bank balance does help, I think.
Yes, that
because
helps.
if I die 5 times, I don't care, sort of thing. Yeah. Whereas in the first, I remember when the game launched, it was 60,000 credits for Anaconda for Killed It, and it was like every ship I went through was a few weeks of really hard work, and if someone took it off me, I was like in pieces, Whereas I've all billionaires now from the Tritian Rush. It's like,
I nearly quit the game.
Did you?
Yeah, I got into debt in the game with the Bank of Zayon. So I was actually in debt. Everything I
Role
earned,
playing.
a piece of that money went to the blooming bank. And I nearly quit. And it wasn't entirely my fault. I was mining in a shieldless Type 6, drunk. The thing is, that, like, one of the
I can see how that happened.
One of the
Not like
times
you,
I'm-
Scorp.
Did you have a shield on?
No, it's
Oh, shield on.
It was shieldless, yeah. But there was one time I'm like trying to get this Type 6, this stupid Type 6, out of the blooming station, and I kept hitting the wall every single time, and eventually it exploded. But that wasn't the reason why I almost quit. I was getting interdicted by NPCs. Well, mining, no problem, all great. Like, yay, I've got a hold full of rocks. They weren't even very good rocks. And I brought it back to the station, trying to bring it back into the station and in Super Cruise, and then I get interdicted. I didn't know how the blue power band thing worked. So I'm trying to avoid the NPCs, and I keep getting pulled over, and they shoot me, and I blow up, and like, hello, let's go. Then I learned how to do the... Well, first of all, I learned that if you jump to the next star in another system and then jump back, you're probably going to be closer to the station where you started if you're really far away. So I started doing that. So it's all the little tricks. And then it was like, oh, but if I keep my power in the blue when I'm in Super Cruise, I can turn so much better and avoid these idiots. So I learned. Oh, and VR helped as well. That helped me to stay in the game when times are low. I put on the VR headset and I'm in the spaceship, so it's all good.
What about any negative comments from people and things like that to anyone?
I don't know what you're talking about. I never get any of those.
Not a challenge.
That's legitimately an in-joke. I think it helps to have a little bit of a thick skin. There's always the ban button. There's always an opportunity to ban folks if they're utterly repellent. That's why Burr's banned from my channel, obviously. It's surprising that we're sat next to each other. But you always have that ban button, and also like making sure that you have mods who understand what the message of your channel, and also understand the vibe as well. If someone's going to come in and it's going to be deliberately antagonistic and interrupt the vibe in such a way, I don't have an awful lot of tolerance for that. Because
But it ruins everyone else's experience, doesn't it?
yeah,
when you get
absolutely. Absolutely, it's just a weird one. Back on the question with the gankers and stuff, I play predominantly in private group, mostly in private group. But I feel like I have a decent relationship with most of what I would call the PvP community because of various other things that I have been involved in. We did. I'm gonna really completely sell out and plug a Flight Assist episode that we did really recently with a cow for all seasons, who is
It's really good.
thanks.
Yeah,
I
really
appreciate
good.
you
It was
enjoying my work.
fascinating.
but it was for me it was a really interesting look into the world of a PvP or a ganking commander and what they get out of the game. And in the same way that I'm never going to tell anybody that staying in a PvP staying in a private group is wrong, and that I'm never going to tell anybody that their fun's wrong. So if they enjoy PvP, who am I to stop them? I can just go and sit in a private group. It doesn't affect my gameplay. But I feel like we've got a decent relationship. I know you, Brother Sebastian's got a lot of gankers in his community as well.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes the half the chat is made up of either PvPers or gankers, but everyone is very, they're super civil. If they're chatting away, they'll either just lurk or they'll be actively helping people who are asking questions.
Yeah.
And because I've made an effort to be inclusive to as many people as possible, and have I suppose that the right attitude as far as them, as in don't get really salty. If you get blown up, well, it's a rebuy, and hopefully you learn something from it. And so there's no point getting super salty about it from someone else. You've lost a little bit of stuff, and which you probably take you 10 minutes to get back. But equally, I think it's good to know boundaries. So work out the boundaries that you want for the vibe that you want in the chat, because the audience is a reflection of the streamer in a way. So if the streamer's chill, so will the audience be. That's what it will tend to attract. It'll tend to attract people that are chill and people that come in and want to try and disrupt, be deliberately toxic. Then you say, right, well, I'll give you warning there, stop that. If they carry on, then they can have a 24-hour timeout. And if they come back and they're still going to be like that, so okay, that's it for you.
God, you're so lenient.
I was just going to you are way more tolerant than we are.
It does depend on what exactly is being said.
What a lovely bloke.
Yeah.
What a lovely bloke that Brother Sabathius said.
In regards to the criticism element, we're happy to take. Is Alec Turner even in the room? Can I say? Yeah. Oh, God. I thought I could see red eyes at the back of the room. I think I would imagine everybody on this panel is okay with fair criticism and with, I wish you did this, or how about I don't like it when you are rubbish, but but there's a difference between that and someone expressing themselves not in a childlike or not not very adult manner, or not being respectful or whatever. That I think nobody's got any time for. But if anybody wants to sort of say, can you, because we have taken stuff on board from people and sort of this is why I don't do the camera work. So it's I think as long as it's expressed in a mature.
Well, also we're kind of all in this together. It doesn't matter where you sit, in front of the camera, behind the camera, whatever your gameplay is. We kind of this is a very tight community, and we're all in this together. So there was a hashtag that went around last year on Twitter, which was Elite Together, which Exorcist started. And you think it's really true. We're stronger together. I mean, Odyssey rocked the boat for a lot of people, but if you can come together through something like that and support each other, and it was a good learning curve of who perhaps don't want it in your community and who you do want it in your community. But if we can just stick together and see this through, we're going to be in a good position. The future's exciting. So trolls, okay, you're not going to engage with them.
Yeah, we just
constructive criticism, feedback. That's a good thing to have, because it means we can all grow and do better for each other. I mean, we report the news. We want that to be as good as possible for the audience. Why wouldn't you? To me, it just seems a logical way. And like you've said, you give people a chance to show themselves. You soon get the measure of people, and if they're just not worth it and not contributing, you get rid of them.
Can you guys tell when someone comes into your chat, they might not even necessarily say something immediately trolly or aggressive, but you get a vibe from them. It's really weird, isn't it? Like the hairs on the back of your neck stand up.
What we're going to say if they haven't.
It's Alex. Going to come in a second.
I'm calling you out, sir. How would you get a reveal for somebody if they haven't typed anything?
And not being funny.
No, but when they don't say the first couple of things.
She knows some stuff. She just knows.
Because Spidey sense.
You can get a commander name or an avatar or
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
tagline.
you can.
What people call them, their nickname on Discord, or there's little things, or who they follow. There's a lot of information out there. I don't go spying on people, let's say.
Sometimes if also like Twitch has some really nice tools that they have implemented as far as like flagging suspicious users and things along those lines.
YouTube doesn't.
I know. YouTube at some point YouTube will really get into that streaming malarkey and really catch up with it.
3300s.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But there's some really nice tools that Twitch is beginning to implement to address things. Hate, like all of that hate stuff that happened not too long ago, all of that absolutely nonsense space. But we have a lot more tools in place now to flag things. And again, it goes back to sort of having a good moderation team of, for me, predominantly just friends and family who are there and can just go, look, this user, bit suspicious, and then it flags up every time. And as soon as that comes up, I'm like, yeah, that vibe's going to be downhill any second, and they're probably going to be gone soon.
Well, that's the thing, is we're in this new world still, aren't we? People are going to look back in 20 years and go, how did you all do the internet without any rules and any protection? You know?
Yeah.
If you're streaming and you've got your face there, you are open to any kind of abuse and attack sort of thing. I think if you're thinking about streaming, you've got to think, how am I going to deal with that? Because it will happen, you know, and you've got to build that skin up of, I'm not going to respond to, you know, I know on Twitter someone says something, I'm like, I'm going to get them, and then I go, no, there's no point. Yeah. I'm never going to win an argument online, sort of thing. I'm never going to change someone's mind. So I might as well just find the people who've got a similar view to me, hang out with them, and the rest I can just say goodbye.
Also, you said, how do you do internet? Dad.
Old duffers do the internet.
I'm going to turn to Katie Anna for a couple of questions from the audience.
Okay, so first one I've got from. I did have them.
She was watching chat a second ago.
From Commander Orange Phoenix, who says, "What is your favourite moment in Elite?"
That's an interesting question. I've never used that question before in anything. Am I all right to start with this? Is that okay?
Knock it out, mate.
So I have two that I like. One which I'm incredibly grateful for. It was when Odyssey arrived. I had a lovely little email arrive in my inbox saying we'd like to. If you had the opportunity to name a station, what would you name it? So instantly, yeah, that's exactly what I wrote. I instantly wrote down the name of like a pet that meant a lot to me who had passed away, and like Micah's Rest, I'd like that, please. And then I had a lovely little. I had a really lovely PR package come through, which also had this station which said Micah's Rest in it, and then going out and flying out to that and having that in the game permanently is it's a beautiful thing, and I'm really grateful for that. And my second thing happened about a week and a half ago when there was a Galnet article which said Operation Witch Hunt opposes salvation, and that was something that I set up a group for, and that was really cool, and it's nice to see player engagement within the game. That's really nice.
Before we go any further with that, the second question, which is from Badpun23 and ZX Specky to the entire panel, is how do you feel about Operation Witch Hunt becoming canon?
Oh my God.
That's genuinely the second.
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
That's the only way to say it.
Like, just before I passed to everybody else for like their favourite thing that's happened, the Operation Witch Hunt becoming like a canon thing, and that developing to what it was. And you can say what you think about like seeing player engagement put in, like a player-based initiative put into the game in such a way. I was really hopeful when we started this that we might possibly get a footnote in one Galnet article, and to see it mentioned like as many times as it has been in such a small space of time, and see it work, and see it grow to what it's become. We've got like 860 odd members in that Discord over the space of 4 weeks. It's been nonsense, and I just cannot thank a lot of content creators and a lot of the community for sort of like just gathering around this like little idea that we had, that we thought we might get maybe 100 folks interested in. So it's been really cool. Anyway, what was your great stuff? Enjoy your great stuff.
Can I go now, or do you want to go on?
Okay.
Well, are you right if I say about it? Okay. So
What?
What?
What's he going to say?
Well, for me, just as far as sort of pure in-game stuff goes, the first time Thargoids turned up, hands down, that was. I remember seeing that. We weren't streaming or YouTubers or anything like that at the time, and I remember seeing it on YouTube and just going. So that was just incredible. I think for us personally,
I'm trying to get into your brain to see what you're going to say,
Oh,
but yeah,
it's
go
not-
for it.
It's not nice in there. There was a conversation that took place in our house. I'd been doing Witch Space for about
Okay, yeah.
4 months, something like that. I'd been doing Witch Space for about 4 months, and then there was a conversation that took place in our house between myself, Ree, and our son, and we were discussing the camera suite, and I was taking all the footage myself at that point. It was just me doing it, and there was this conversation that took place about what we really need is to get someone else on another client in my ship, and I just do the stuff that I do, because you can't fight and film at the same time. You can, but it just looks awful. So to fight and film, you need someone in multi-crew who then jumps out into the camera and starts, and then all this, and you kind of went, oh, that sounds interesting. And then this whole experimentation process started, where an Xbox controller came out, and keyboard and mouse, and
That went.
yeah, we went through all these things, and there was this ridiculous light bulb moment when we looked back at the footage that we've got, and the three of us just went, oh, because we'd never seen it before,
Yeah.
and we've filmed like that. We'd never seen anything like that before, and the three of us just went, oh my God, everybody has to see this.
Just bolting on from that, because it kind of rolls from that, I think my favourite moment obviously was finding the camera suite, but we went out for a night years ago with the AXI.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh,
And I was in, I got multi-crewed in. Funny enough, I ended up with in Harry Potter's ship,
Yeah.
which was bizarre. And then one of the guys, the top guy in the AXI, and I sat there knowing that we were going to put a video together, but then also sitting there, because we share a desk, going, oh my God, I got to film. And it was just, I don't know, kind of...
it was incredible. Like watching the AXI do what the AXI do, they're good.
Mind-blowing.
But when you see their top tier guys, they were very accommodating to us. They were amazing. They got their top tier guys together, and Harry Potter, who kind of invited himself,
Very bizarre.
and then basically did what they do and let us film it, and it is it just blows your nuts off. No, it's just incredible. So yeah, that was that's the first time we'd seen a Hydra as well, wasn't it? I think. Yeah. Well,
So,
without seeing it in the rearview
Sammy,
mirror anyway.
thank you for the camera suite.
So yeah.
Yes, yes. What do you think of
Operation
Witch
Witch, and how do you feel about that?
Absolutely. I think I went off a couple of times on the news about it. I just think it's absolutely glorious.
The amount of DMs I've got from you.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate completely that Frontier can't pick up every single kind of player initiative like that, but for something that's so sort of intrinsically tied into the big thing that's happening at the moment, for that to get picked up. Like you said, I thought it was going to, you'd be lucky if you got it.
no.
I think I actually said,
Yeah,
it'd be nice,
we were like, oh, it'd be nice to
more.
have a little mention in the Galnet article in DMs.
Yeah.
We talked about it, and
Yeah.
we'd had that conversation with a lot of people.
It's been in there twice now, isn't it? I'm a bit bored of it now.
I know, it's been in there twice, but there was a third one where we weren't mentioned by name, but it was there's been another group of commanders who have been doing anti-salvation activities. I mean,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Love it.
So favourite moment, Elite. I've got two personal ones. First one is landing at Beagle Point on the very first Distant Worlds trip for the first time. So back then, when that one was launched, there was no engineers. We had FSD injection to increase jump range. We were very limited on materials, so essentially we had totally filled up our material storage with only the materials required to make boosted jumps, so that we always had a way out of a bad position. So the ASP I was flying was about 32 light years range. I'd taken 2 SRVs. In the end, that wasn't needed because there was a particularly nasty bug at the time where an SRV could randomly explode for no readily apparent reason. So to save on the support tickets, Frontier basically made them infinite. So if one exploded, if you logged out and logged back in, you got it back straight away. So I was carrying this second SRV for nothing in the end. But on the way in, into Beagle Point, I got to about 3,000 light years from our target, and then the route plotter went, nope, can't do that. So I couldn't plot directly to the gateway system. I could plot 3 jumps ahead at a time. That's all the plotter would do. And then a few times you would go down a dead end. I thought, oh, I've gone the wrong way there. I'll have to come back and try a different way. You're like, oh, I've gone too far away from the center now, so I'll have to come back and eventually get there. And on the way in, I came across Commander Fraud Digger in his Sidewinder. Now he'd been out there 6 weeks in advance of the trip. He was waiting out on the outer rim of the galaxy for about 6 weeks, waiting for the group to catch up, because the only way he could make it to Beagle Point was with FSD injection, and he didn't have an SRV. So there was a group of players called the Rock Rats that had dedicated themselves to getting him to Beagle Point. So they would fly down to the planet. They would use their SRVs to find the rocks, split the rocks, and then he had to come down in the Sidewinder and scoop them up off the ground.
That's bonkers, isn't it?
Also remembering that he didn't have any shields either. So eventually they'd got him enough to get him into Beagle Point and back out again. And I came across them as they were coming in. So there were 5 of us, I think it was, flying in to Beagle Point together. So I got very luckily to not only get there myself, but see the first Sidewinder make it to Beagle Point as well, landing right beside us. Because we said you can't finish until you actually land. So you did the most delicate landing you could possibly imagine. But it was that was an amazing one, to get that guy to Beagle Point. Probably my second one is basically a personal pride moment, but the first time I killed a Hydra solo, which was, it took an hour and a half. it took an hour and a half, and I nearly ran out of ammunition since.
You nearly ran out of ammunition?
I was one mess up away of not having enough ammo to do it.
Oh my god.
It was very, very tough. I don't do many of those ones, but I got to a point where I thought, I've got to do it just to prove that I can do it to myself. So the first time that went down, it's kind of thing you didn't realize how long it was taking, but until you finish it, and it's like, wow, it's been an hour and a half. It felt like, it felt like 40 minutes. Even though there's lots going on, and you have like a failed attack run, and you have to go back and reset, start again. Mess up another time, nearly get killed. Got to go and repair. I can't leave because it's got to go down in this fight, because if I leave, I've got to go and farm more ammunition refills. So it's like it either has to get done, or I run out of ammo. So, but that was my other big personal pride moment. And the Salvation one, yeah, that's been absolutely amazing. I've so loved being part of that. We have had.
Sorry, what's that part of?
The witch hunt.
That'll be Operation Witch Hunt.
Operation Witch Hunt. Because I had come up once we got the logs at Canum Venaticorum. It kind of confirmed what I'd suspected of Salvation, as in, I don't know if I really trust this guy. And then we got those logs, and particularly the way they were acted, which was fantastic. And it was like, okay, I definitely don't trust this guy now. This guy's a loony. And you know, I can't support him. And then Psychic and Celine Stardragon got together and said, "Hey, we're gonna smash Azimuth. What do you reckon?" And it's like, "Yeah, I'm in." and before we knew it, there was like 500, 600 people.
It was mental.
It was crazy, and to get any mention in lore. That was the best. Just getting that note in lore, that was the best. I mean, we knew we probably weren't going to change the story at all because we're running into the end now and it's kind of written. But just getting that mention there, that meant everything.
Cool. Right. Okay. My favourite moment is probably so I used to play a lot in VR, and going back to when Thargoids first turned up and stuff like that. Before that, long ago, the Guardians turned up, and and there was videos on YouTube of how to find the first discovered Guardian base. It was and if you go here and get to these coordinates and follow this ridge, you'll get there, and then you can spot it. And the first time I ever saw that was in VR. I flew down in this shieldless hauler, because haulers, underestimated ship, can really go far. You don't just A-rate a hauler, you'll go anywhere you want. Engineer a hauler, it's amazing. Anaconda, get out. I actually come back. Anaconda's pretty cool. But so I landed. Me and a mate were going to go out there. He brought an Asp Explorer, and so me and a mate were going to go see this thing in VR together. Right? So I went there the night before, found the place so that he could come in on my signal and then come down to it nice and easy. And just arriving at this Guardian ruin on this desolate planet, just flying into it, I'm in VR, so I'm in the damn ship. I don't care what anyone says. I'm not playing a video game at this point. I'm flying a freaking spaceship. And I land, and then it's the freakiest thing. All the other planets are completely dead, desolate dust balls. And then there's signs of life. Somewhere, once upon a time, 2 million years ago, this was a base of some sort. Life was here. I landed. I got out of the SRV. I was driving around like a lunatic, because of course you do. And I just sat there in the SRV in VR, and it was freaky. It was so spooky just to be there. And then my mate turned up the next day. So that's the thing. I logged out on the surface, and when I logged in the next day, I was still there. That sells it. That sells that you're really there. Oh my goodness. So the next day, my mate turned up, and we just went around and just investigated everything and just saw everything, scanned everything. What are these obelisk things that have got these lights on them? What does this mean? How are they still powered? Is there a door? I've recently seen Forbidden Planet, so there's me thinking there's a massive machine in the thing.
Yeah, with Odyssey, I'm now looking for doors.
Yes. Yes, it would be very nice if there was a really big machine system underground. For example. It would be super nice. The second one would be the Dove Enigma, that expedition. That was amazing.
That's a bad cough you've got there, Sally.
Sally is amazing. Let's leave Sally alone. Sally actually did me an amazing thing. Just for me personally, not for anybody else. With the camera system, it's been amazing. It's been brilliant for content creators. And when the new camera system got introduced, it was like, it was so good. But then the game got developed, and I think the camera system stayed where it was. And the rest of the game got developed to a point and got polished up, and it got left behind a little bit. And a couple of the old artifacts of the camera system hadn't been caught up. So I made a little video about it, and it got completely fixed, and now it's incredible again. It's absolutely incredible. You can make really good content again with it. So thank you, Sally. Thank you, Frontier, for doing that as well. That's absolutely amazing. So the Dove Enigma, brilliant. A massive coordinated effort to help a commander to achieve a life goal who was suffering from terminal cancer. And Frontier put in the Dove Enigma megaship in Colonia, so he wanted to go to Colonia. My character of Scorbus is still there. I've not come back yet, he's still there. More recently, on streams that I do on Sunday, self-plug, at 8 p.m. When commanders arrive at a station while I'm waffling around in space trying to do something, and I don't know that they've gone there, and they're all there on station on foot greeting me, waving and saluting and stuff as soon as I get out of the lift. Like, how did you guys get there before me? Oh yeah, all right, I waste a lot of time, but that's beside the point. But they're all there. And that's one of the great things about Elite. One of the things, we were talking about community earlier on, how it brings people together. And to just see all the people who are with you on the stream and or they're flying with you. Just they're there, they're waving to you, or we're all pointing to an NPC. Like, who's that guy? That guy there. And everyone starts pointing. It's all pointing all the time. It's like, yeah, this is good. It's an amazing sandbox. It's just brilliant how it can stoke people's creativity and get people really thinking. And with the creativity side, to you, Tom.
Nice segue.
That was really sick. You're good.
I don't know, I've probably got billions of moments, but I'll try. My current thing at the moment is, if anyone follows my Twitter, I really like atmospheric planets in a chromium ship.
Yeah.
If you fly where the sun sets and you fly a bit further, the colours go insane. You know, and everyone goes, oh, you always do it in Photoshop. I don't do much of the colour ever. I might just boost a bit of the brightness. But the atmospheric planets blow me away. The sky is amazing. And it has been a game changer for me, because it's just like, I love it. And the chromium ships just make, the colours you get on the ship are amazing. So I really love that as a weekly moment at the moment. Other things, I actually really like the on-foot conflict zones. Controversially. The on-foot conflict zones. I really like those. I don't know, I like streaming with Spatula stuff and the guys, and sometimes we just log in the evenings and we just go in a conflict zone and we just play about 3 or 4 of them, and it's really good fun, because you go on a high one and it's a bit, you have to be able at least awake to do it, sort of thing. It's not too hard, you win, but you have a really good laugh with your mates. And I really like that kind of gameplay that wasn't really there before. You could do the conflict zones in ships, but I find my ship, I get a bit lonely and just do my thing. But there's something quite nice about running around with the people waving at someone in the middle of fight, throwing a grenade at someone, or trying to electrocute them. It's good fun. So I really enjoy that. I think being part of that Operation Warbucks and Galactic Radio 7 weekend was really cool, because the console thing was really tough on everyone. I think it hurt the whole community and the developers. It can't have been an easy choice, really difficult. And I think we were all hurting. And that weekend for me felt like a time where we actually could rejoice and go, we all enjoy this game, And lots of people I'd never seen stream. I ended up watching like 3 days of streaming, had a really good time, and it got back to the thing of, we are a really strong community, and we all really care about each other, sort of thing. I think that's the thing that I...
Apart from Bear.
Yeah. Oh, your other favourite bit is in your videos, when you stop talking, I can just watch the video.
When I stop talking. Thank you.
I do try and put it in the comments.
Thank you. Yeah, I've seen
Some
those.
people don't. Some people don't know the sound even. They just mute.
I'm sitting right here. I'm right here.
Sorry.
There we go. There it is.
Yeah.
Any questions from anyone in the audience? Like, moving up here.
Don't give the mic to Alec.
You want to introduce yourself and ask your question then?
Sorry if I'm getting walking all this way. Hi, I'm Rusrat, Commander Matthias Shallowgrave. I have a question about tutorials. So, would you, as content creators, say that obviously Elite has a somewhat, I think, missed opinion of being too grindy? I don't think that's the case. I think the grind is completely optional. However, do you think that part of that reputation comes from tutorials, not telling how the game works, but instead telling people to go to this place and do ABC, and then repeat, and then do that again. So people watch that kind of stuff and then go, oh, that's how this game works. It's so grindy, I can't be arsed. Do you think there is something to it?
I absolutely, you're right for me.
Yeah, go ahead.
I absolutely think that's the case. We made a video fairly recently about how to get a certain material. I can't for the life of me remember what one it was, but I made a point of, was it? Thank you. I made a point of saying in that.
Sunburst fan.
Again, I'm right here. Again, we said in that this isn't the way you're meant to do it, and you can get all this stuff from doing missions, but if you're really, really stuck, then you can go here and do this thing. So there is, my opinion of the grind thing is that for me, grind is a way of playing. It's not something that's intrinsic to Elite. I'm not very good at ship engineering at all. I'm hopeless at ship engineering, but on foot engineering, with the help of a couple of tools, I've got all the materials I need from that just from doing missions for the most part. Literally just from ripping through missions, and really enjoyable ones, and wailing all day long on Garak's piece. But Gatak's piece, sorry. Garak was a character in Deep Space Nine. So, yeah,
Garak was given unto you.
I know,
Leave
right?
this piece alone.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah, for me, grind is a way of playing, and I do think content creators are part of the problem. Yeah.
I reckon
That
that's
one in particular.
me.
Yeah.
Grind is what you make of it. If you are playing the game with a particular objective and that's all that matters to you, then people, the royal you, no, you in particular, you, right? if a person is playing the game with just a particular objective and that's all they want to do, then they will do anything to get there. And I think when we do have these videos these videos are perfectly fine, because sometimes you need to make this much money per hour in order to afford that nice shiny ship that you want, But I think sometimes it can go a little bit too far, and people forget that they're supposed to be enjoying this game, and they're supposed to be having fun. And you know what? Play how you want to. Don't let anybody, especially me, tell you how to play the game. Enjoy the fun. If you like, some people really love what we would consider to be grind, and I think everybody has got their own tolerance for repeated actions. And personally, I don't grind because I don't like it. I don't get fun out of it. You could say I grind at exploding. I blow up a lot, so maybe some people get really frustrated if they blow up as often as I do. But I don't think that Elite is particularly grindy for my own sake, because I don't play it that way. I would say that there are some things that could be polished a little bit, like Guardian runes for one thing. Like, we've got this great floating structure, and if you do some things to it, it will give you a key and the location of a base. You go to that base and do some things, that's where the trail ends. Should that base give you the location of another floating structure or another base, you can decode it from the supercomputer that's there. But what happens is people go to that base and then they just relog and do the thing again and again and again. And for me, I haven't got any of the Guardian technology because I find that to be dreary. So I don't do it. I don't do it. So occasionally I'll go out to a Guardian place for altogether and do some things, and I will do it once, and then I'll go somewhere else and do something else. But I don't have the capacity to repeat the actions that much to go and do that. But I do explode a lot, so. But some people do enjoy doing that, and they'll go and do that thing again and again. They really enjoy getting the Sentinel things really mad. So play how you want and enjoy it. But if you feel that you're suffering from grind, you don't have to grind in Elite. You don't have to, in my opinion.
I think there's some really good, like as Beryl was saying, I hate to have to disagree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I hate to have to agree with you, but the grind is made a lot easier by some third-party tools that are out there, like ED Engineer, Odyssey Materials Helper. That one is absolutely phenomenal.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Before you even think about doing a grind for on foot stuff, just like grab that and start using that. If you don't use that, you're making life infinitely harder for yourself. There definitely are sections where relogging helps to grind stuff. I hate the idea of like using a relog as a way to gain items, but there are certain things in the game. I'm looking at you, Obsidian data from Ruins that need relogging for, but I'm never going to try and overly encourage someone to grind, especially if that requires a relog. I just really don't like the idea that you have to take yourself out of a game in order to get it. Seal from Sophist runs are stuff that you can do like just in game and just missions, isn't it? You know, and eventually you'll get a Corvette out of it. So what's not to love?
Yeah, I don't know. I try not to do a lot of like relog grinding, and I don't think it's necessarily a very good way of getting that kind of stuff. I mean, like if someone's coming in and asking, I need this particular thing, or I want to get this particular thing, then I'll often ask, well, why do you want it? What are you going to use it? What's the objective you've got? Like if they're, for instance, if they're going into PvP, then it's like, right, okay, you're going to need to speed run the engineers, and you're going to need to grind your ass off to get all your materials, because you're going to need it. Everything is going to have to be G5. There is no option. If they're doing it PvE, then that's way more forgiving. You can get a very powerful ship just going to G3 level. PvE wise, you don't necessarily need to get the super rare stuff. Good though it is, but you can take your time getting to the rest of it. So it depends for me on what the end objective is. Also, I get some people come in saying, "Oh, I've got to start my Guardian grind." And it's like, okay, well, what are you after? What specifically do you want this stuff to improve? And he says, "Oh, I just need to get them all." I said, no, you don't.
Do you?
I don't have all the Guardian stuff unlocked because
Those fighters are pretty sweet.
Some of it, I don't see any use for it.
The fighters are amazing. Can confirm.
I unlocked one fighter and I didn't bother with the other two. I got the hull reinforcement, but I haven't got the module. But that's just me being lazy. But otherwise, if it was something very useful that I saw a lot of use in, right, that's my target to go and get that. I don't particularly like doing the relog method, and I certainly can't sit there like some people and do it all day.
Yeah.
After like half an hour of that, right, I'm bored. I'm going to do something else. I'll go do something else in game now. I'm bored of that. I'd rather do it more interactively. But at the minute, if I need something quick, that's how I've got to do it. The on foot stuff, I've gone. I've actually gone on the on foot stuff with one of my accounts. That one is doing all of the Odyssey on foot stuff. So it's got barely any engineering at all on ships. I think it's got G3 thrusters and shields, and I put the Tech Broker FSD in it. And that's basically it for the ship. It doesn't really do ship combat at all. He does ground combat. This is my RP character, Jackson West. So that's the one I've got most of my suits and weapons on. So I went through on stream. So I was doing all the engineering for it, suits and weapons on stream, without doing relogging. So everyone was just playing along, and I was playing it that way just to see how long does it take. Now, and I rapidly came upon essentially the problem, which was the data materials on foot. Like all the physical stuff, there's no problem. The data stuff, though, that's kind of a problem.
Yeah.
Because it can be hard to get what you need, and you can't trade it at the bartenders like you can the other stuff. Those two combined, that's what slows you down on the Odyssey stuff. So,
Yeah.
but it just depends how fast you want it. But if you don't need it fast, then you don't need to do the relogging stuff.
You also have the benefit of being able to buy grade 3 stuff as well. You know,
Yes.
it's not you're not necessarily starting from scratch with a weapon or something like that. If you're patient, you'll find something that's halfway there already,
Yeah.
which does save the grind.
Yeah, and you can actually do everything with that G3 stuff.
Yeah.
I've not done any on foot engineering.
Have you
at
not?
all. Not a single bit of it.
Have you bought any grade 3 stuff, or you
I
just?
bought some stuff from the shop when there's one in the entire solar system. Which is bizarre. There's only one. Yes, we've got this one suit, this one gun. Yeah, would you want it? It's really good. Otherwise, you can just get the stock stuff. How many people live in this solar system? Billions? You've got one suit?
Maybe
I have now.
like 4
Everyone
or
else has
5.
got a really nice
Yeah,
suit.
they will. But no, I've not done any of that stuff. I don't, personally, for me, I don't see the thing of going into a base, killing everybody, and then stealing their paperwork. I don't see how that is like.
But if they're not going to give it to you.
I don't want their tax returns.
No, you're covering up the evidence.
Yeah, like if one
To
person,
be coming through, I just need this from your cupboard.
but if one person sees you do it, and then you have to kill that one person, like you can't leave any more witnesses.
So you kill everybody?
Yes.
I often jump into your streams and you're doing a murder.
Yes, I am.
It's still a stealth mission if nobody's there to tell the tale.
Where do
Exactly.
they buy
There you
them
go.
from, though? Like, can I not go to Elite Dangerous version of Staples?
Harry's mine is the Elite Dangerous version, just with more murder.
Slightly more murder than
Slightly
your local
more-
Staples.
Yeah, than any sort of like US Staples that you would walk into, just a smidge more murder.
Yeah, hi, Alec Turner. Just a quick question for Rini. Is Burr as much of a git in real life as he is on screen?
100%.
Thank you.
I'm literally here. Thank you, sir.
He's such an idiot. That's to both of you, by the way.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Right, we're going to start wrapping things up here, but I think, Scob, didn't you have a question for the birds as well?
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Oh,
How
yes.
dare you?
I have a question to the streamers panel, actually.
Okay.
And it's about your setups.
Okay.
About what is your equipment? So do you go single PC? Or are you multi-PC? Do you have a video capture card? How many monitors do you run? Webcam, yes or no? Multiple webcams? It's a question for all of them.
All right. Right. Well, I stream on single PC, so you've got game and OBS all running on the same thing, which does put that is extra load, and you do see the game performing a little bit less well because you've got that extra load on the computer. But that all works fine. So webcam, 3 monitors. So I'll have OBS on one side, and chat on one side, and then other things like Material Helper and stuff like that on the other side. But that's the basic setup.
Mine's very similar, really similar to Sebastian's. I have a single PC setup, single very, very hot temperature of the sun PC setup. I have it's my software that I'm really, really happy with. I have Lumia Stream, which is great for the coloured lights and all of that nonsense that happens. I have just like normal lights. I'm pointing them to there, but they're like normal lights on me, normal studio lights, which is great in this weather. A a Logitech webcam, see something. That's really useful to know. I think it's the same as these. It's one of these ones.
920s are those?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that. Single PC, Stream Deck, which has changed my life. And yeah, I think that's about it. 3 monitors, one on the portrait, which has got OBS and notifications in.
Okay. Blimey, our room. Right.
Buckle up.
Yeah, so for streaming, I've got a PC that's made of hand-me-downs from my son and my wife.
I thought you said ham then for a minute.
No,
You've got
not
PC made of
ham. No, it's not made of ham, Scorpius. No. And then there's so I've got a dual streaming setup. I've got a really old second PC that I used to play the original, not the original Elite, but Elite Dangerous on. It kind of handles the streaming side and pumps it out to the internet and all the fancy GUI gubbins. Your PC is 99% storage, and the rest of it is pure firepower, isn't it? Because you're handling huge quantities of graphics in very high resolution all the time. So, and then we've got these webcams as well, Logitech, whatever they are.
C920s.
Thank you.
You're right.
Thank
I think
you.
you're right.
I do the great way of getting the streaming of someone else streams and you just become the stream monkey who annoys them. So I just have to do Discord. Spatula spent thousands of pounds on an amazing computer, and I just log in and just say stupid things when I want to. So
that's the way cheaper option.
Shooting, yeah, so it's brilliant. Yeah, it is pretty good. Although I do need a new graphics card.
You need a new graphics
card? Yeah, so I've got a really big screen and I've got a lead about that big in it. So yeah. If I take screenshots, I go about 3 frames per second. So
Just added question on the back of that. What microphones do you all use?
Blue Yeti.
Blue Yeti?
Oh, yeah, the Blue Yeti, yes.
Okay, so we both use headset microphones because I have got a, what do you know what, is it a Yeti I've got? Yeah, I've got a Yeti. We use that for recording the curated content because Rhea and I sit about this far apart when I'm streaming, so if we were using
so
Yeti...
sorry, Rhea.
I know. Just can't be easy. Yeah, so literally we'd spill over into the microphone all the time and it would just sound awful. So
headsets.
I have a Elgato Wave 3, which is really nice, but also comes with some great software that splits up, that you can split up audio from different sources to different channels, which is nice.
So you're not using, what's it, Banana?
Voice meter.
Voice meter Banana.
I've heard of that and seen people use it, and it's like the most unfriendly bit of software I've ever seen.
But it works.
The Wavelink software is really fun, and it's also compatible with the Stream Deck as well, which is great. Changed my life to Stream Deck. I can't go. I'm such an Elgato shill, and they don't even pay me.
I wouldn't be able to do anything without a Stream Deck. I've even got it set up for when I'm filming to switch cameras in Elite. So I go to a special folder for just Elite, and I've got my record button for OBS. So I don't record using the NVIDIA stuff. I record straight from the output, and I've got camera 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the different cameras there. It all works really nice. Posh. No, Stream Deck absolutely essential. I'd say if you're going to do streaming, get one of them.
You can also. Other Stream Decks are available that you can get, like mobile phone, like.
But it's the software that does it.
Yeah, the software's amazing.
End of the day, it's just this touch screen with capacitive buttons on it. It's the software that they've got with all the macros to like start and stop streaming and timed events and play sound and mute mics and things. So I used to always forget to unmute my mic or to mute my mic or something. So I'd start the stream, I'd be waffling on, I'd have this intro like, yay, it's all great, and people in chat going, we can't hear you.
Muted.
And it's like, again, this is the 3rd week in a row. So I bought a Stream Deck and it's only happened twice since.
Well, thank you all very much. Just very, very quickly then, tell everybody on the stream where they can find you.
Right, so for Brother Sabathius, go to twitch.tv/brother_Sabathius. That's about 4 times a week at the moment.
I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday from as close to 1 as any chronic pain will allow. You can also find me on Twitter a lot, maybe a little too much. But I'm psychic everywhere.
We're youtube.com/theburpit, two U's and an R. We stream on Mondays at about 3 p.m.
Yep.
And then we got curated video that goes out Wednesday, all being well, and then Week Space News on Friday. And we're also on Twitter far too much. Can confirm.
Commander Tokoso on Twitter. I've got SoundCloud, Tom Cook, 3 albums on there. I've got 3 albums on, what's the one called? Bandcamp, I think it's Tokoso, I think. And I stream Saturday night, not tonight, but on Spatula 007 on YouTube. I'm Stream Monkey in the background.
I'm a Scorpius, Commander of Scorpius on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube. I stream on Sundays at 8 p.m. I probably will be doing this Sunday, depending on how squiffy I get tomorrow. Try to do it every week, but real life comes first, and sometimes you have to take a step back and let real life stuff happen. But try to be regular. The thing is, people are always there, and they're always lovely, and I thank all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you all very much then.
Thank you.
Thank you.